This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to another part of Clone Wars Year 1, Part 2, and this week I'm going to be going over the episode series of Boba Fett's Revenge, and yeah, this is a great storyline. I'm really excited to do this, so let's just get into it. Boba Fett, seeking revenge for the death of his father at the hands of Mace Windu, infiltrates a Republic cruiser, joining a group of clone cadets so he can infiltrate the ship and kill Windu. Taking the name Lucky, he goes and manages to fall asleep, infiltrate the clone troopers since he is a clone of his father, and he is able to show off well his skills which he learned from his father, making him seem very impressive among the other clone cadets. And when no one is paying attention, he sneaks off and plants a bomb in Mace Windu's room. In contact with the bounty hunter Aura Singh, Boba sneaks back to go and meet up with his clone group, so he is not suspected. And Mace Windu nearly falls into the trap, but being requested by Anakin to go up to the bridge, immediately Windu goes and asks the clone to place himself in his room, and the clone actually sets off the trap, killing him. Boba thinks at first he has succeeded, but is angered once he learns that his plan has failed, and gets in contact with Aura Singh. She orders him to go and blow the reactor of the ship, and hopefully Windu will be taken down with the ship going down. And although Boba is reluctant, he agrees and goes on to do it. And at the same time, Anakin and Windu are becoming extremely suspicious, and after first thinking it was an attack on them and trying to infiltrate the ship, they realized that it was not, and this had to be an attempt against Windu himself, since there was no vital parts of the ship in this area. Boba does manage to go and destroy the ship's reactor, and with the other clone cadets, he goes out into an escape pod, which he sabotages and is picked up by Slave One, where Boba Fett leaves his fellow clone cadets to die and joins up with Aura Singh and her crew. He then watches as the Republic ship crashes down onto the planet of Vancouver, and Admiral Killian, refusing to leave his ship, goes down with the ship and has Anakin and Mace Windu worried. But first they go and find the missing clone cadets, and they are able to explain the situation to the Jedi. And now that this has been resolved, they don't have time to look for this assassin. They have to go and rescue Admiral Killian and his men, but Boba Fett and his crew are already down on Vancouver to go and see if Windu was killed in the crash. They quickly realize he was not and manage to escape, and they take Killian and the rest of the crew of the Republic ship that stayed on the ship prisoner. They also leave a little surprise for the Jedi once they come to check the ship, and at this point, Anakin and Windu land on the planet and begin to investigate the wreckage. And while investigating, they go up and on the bridge they begin to look around, where Anakin finds a Mandalorian helmet. And at this moment, Mace Windu is able to piece everything together, realizing that this has to be Boba Fett wanting revenge for the death of his father. But before he could stop Anakin, the trap is sprung and a massive explosion consumes the bridge. And this knocks the two Jedi out, pinning them under rubble. And knowing that they're likely doomed unless they get help, Anakin calls for R2 to go and receive help from the Republic. And R2 goes to get in contact, but at the same time, Boba Fett, looking to see if Windu has died in the explosion, convinces the other bounty hunters to go and check and see if they're dead, since the Separatists will pay a large bounty if they can confirm the deaths of Anakin Skywalker and Mace Windu. So they go to investigate the ship, but R2, still being there and not having the chance to get away, goes and begins to sabotage the efforts of the bounty hunters, and they believe that there's no way for the Jedi to have survived. And R2 tries to escape, but is attacked by a Gundark, and both the Mace Windu's astromech droid and Anakin's starfighter are destroyed. So R2 goes into Mace Windu's starfighter and takes off, and misreading the situation, Boba and the bounty hunters think that Windu has survived and try to pursue him. And at this point, R2 is able to make it to one of the hyperdrive docking rings and escapes. And believing that Mace Windu has escaped, they go and try to continue their plan from a new angle, not knowing that Windu is still down below on the planet, and they could have easily taken him out. And R2 is able to go and get help from the Jedi, where Plo Koon and Ahsoka manage to make it just in time before the cruiser collapses upon itself, and they're able to bring the Jedi to be healed at the Jedi Temple. Now getting desperate, Boba begins to listen more and more to Aura Singh, and she convinces him to send a message to the Jedi saying that Windu must come, and if he does not, they will kill hostages, showing the hostages they took from the Republic cruiser, and Boba Fett refuses to kill one of them, but Aura simply goes and kills him, later saying Boba must not hesitate to kill people, and yeah, things are pretty intense. Boba does kind of regret what he's doing, thinking they've gone a little too far, but Mace Windu, in no condition to go, is told to stay back as Plo Koon and Ahsoka Tano go to hunt down the bounty hunters. And while doing this, Aura and the rest of the bounty hunters go to the planet of Florum. And while there, one of the crew members wants to get out and contacts one of his friends to see if he could, well, just get a way out. And at the same time, Ahsoka and Plo Koon enter a bar where she overhears a conversation about the other bounty hunter working with Aura Singh, and saying that it's pretty bad luck for him to be working with her. And, well, he's right because Aura has killed the guy, but things have worked out since they are able to get the information of where Aura Singh is, and now Plo Koon and Ahsoka head out to Florum and to confront the bounty hunters. Landing on the planet, they go and prepare to confront the bounty hunters. Entering into Hondo's bar, they go and begin to talk. Aura is furious that Windu did not show up and orders Bosk to go and be ready to kill the hostages at a moment's notice. But at the same time, Ahsoka comes out and takes Aura hostage as Boba has taken Plo Koon hostage, and they are at a standoff. And a fight breaks out where they are able to capture Boba, but Aura Singh goes and runs for it. And they see this as a problem because there are still the hostages, and they know that they need to go and capture her before the hostages are killed or are taken and given to the separatists. Both would be horrible situations, and they ask Boba where she would have gone, and initially refusing, Hondo comes in and tells Boba that it would be the honorable thing to do and what his father would do, since this hostage situation is a very bad thing, and Boba Fett relents and goes and tells them where Slave One is. They are able to go and track down Aura Singh. They save the hostages, although Aura Singh is presumed dead when Slave One crashes. We have Bossk and Boba Fett taken into custody, and Boba tells Windu how he will never forgive him for what he has done to his father. Yeah, this is another amazing arc of Clone Wars. This is the only time Boba Fett was truly taking the lead inside of the show, and we've never seen one where he really takes too much of a major role. The only other episode he does really appear in is the Asajj Adventures episode where she becomes a bounty hunter, and that one takes place much longer into the show, and he would have had a pretty big role in the Dark Apprentice storyline, but sadly that was cut and turned into a book, so really we don't have too much to talk about with Boba Fett at this era, but with this you can see a lot of things that sort of set up Boba Fett in the book of Boba Fett as a character, how he was a generally a pretty good person and was sort of, corrupted by some other of the bounty hunters, but still has some good morals at heart. And with it, he doesn't want to do things that are wrong. And it seems that it was, always part of his character, and just him falling into the Sarlacc makes him truly not want to be doing some more immoral work and working for more shady people like the Empire or the Hutts. And yeah, I think that with this is one of the most crucial series of episodes to really explaining what's going on in the Book of Boba Fett and how Boba Fett changes, because it seems like truly Boba Fett was always this person and just sometimes was doing the wrong thing and just trying to make money to make his way in the universe. Yeah, I really like this and showing how Boba was honorable and a good person, and this is one of the reasons that I liked Book of Boba Fett more than some other people who didn't like the changes in Boba, because, well, he truly was always this decent person who was just, a little more willing to do some darker things. And that's what makes Boba Fett interesting. I really love this arc, and I think it's one of the best in the Clone Wars. You'll soon see where I rank it, but we also get some interesting things with the, I believe, second and final appearance of Vancouver in Star Wars, and at least in movies or shows. I don't think we've really ever seen it again, and yeah, we have the Gundark, which is interesting. And we get to, just look at similar things, and really, this was the first time we ever got development into Boba Fett's character within canon, since he was, more background in episodes 2, 5, and 6, And then, of course, he was inserted into episode 4 in the special edition. So, really, with all of those, we never got too much development with him as a character. But this is really the first episode to, look into who he was and what he would do, which was really interesting. Yeah, let's take a look at now where I would rank this episode. And I give this a rating of 96.2, and that puts it so far into third place of overall of all the arcs we've gone through. And yeah, looking at these, I definitely think it belongs there. This is an amazing arc, and is one of my favorites. And I think they did a really good job with it. And as I said, so far it's really good. I want to know what you think. How do you think so far of this ranking of episodes? Which one is your favorite? Which one is your least favorite on the ones that are on here so far? Because obviously there are going to be some that are ranking even higher, but those don't take place until mainly years 2 or 3. And right now, we're, middle of year 1. So I want to know what you think. And next week I will be going over the corruption on Mandalore storyline, which is a lot shorter and honestly, not as interesting as we've done so far, but still good episodes. But you'll see what I think about that next week. Well, please let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.